Let's get started. So hi everyone, I'm Holly Bellis and I'm a cybersecurity specialist here at West Point Cyber Talent. I hope everyone's doing well. So it was originally my colleague Delana who was supposed to be hosting this, but unfortunately she's unwell today. So it's me for today. So thank you for attending the webinar. I think everyone should be here now. So just before we start, you may have seen on our social media that we're celebrating today. We've got some balloons. So it's our fifth birthday here at West Point. So we're all in a very, very good mood. So the subject of women in cyber is one that's really close to my heart as part of this industry. And our speaker today, Christine, has faced many issues and barriers which female leaders come across all far too often. So Christine is the founder and CEO of two cyber businesses with over 12 years experience in the cyber industry. So there will be a time to ask questions at the end. So if you could submit them through the Q&A box at the bottom of the screen, I'll just hand everything over to Christina. Thank you very much.
Hello, everyone. My name is Christine Deger. I'm nearly now 20 years in IT and most of them in cybersecurity. And I want to talk about my personal path, how I went into the industry, how my way was, how my way was going. So from my perspective, it's a success story because I'm now in the industry and I founded two companies, like Holly said, and I'm doing a lot of things in this and I like it very much. But the way was not so easy. First of all, I've been asked by many people, why should we have more women in cybersecurity? I think there are a lot of discussions about innovations, and if we have diverse teams and more perspectives within product development, we have more innovation. We are more getting better financial results. There are a lot of studies who did this. One example is here. It's a Gartner study from, I think, 1 year ago. And also from studies, I know if a company has 30% of female leadership, the culture is changing and opens to work diverser and successfuler. And I experienced that if the mixture is better, if you have men and women in teams, it's more human oriented and more diverse, and that means better for all of us. So my personal path was not so easy. I graded from secondary school a few years ago, many years ago. Had a qualification in administration at the first. I started in an office. It was also a social company, an NGO. Then I changed to the IT work field with some certifications, and I started with network and identity management and got the team lead role after half a year. And then I got to department lead role within security operations for 13 years. After that, because the company was brought down or outsourced, I got the department leader for software development. And that led me to self-employment since 2017. That was the point where I stepped out of company construction path. So now you see here some holes, and I will show you what came in there. I got my first child, I got the second child. I changed my living place. I worked part-time for 2 years with 2 kids. Then I got to full-time. Then I changed another one, the living place. I had a loss of family members within a short amount of time and a divorce. So you see the personal effects are in between. And if you see this as one, this is always was what I recognized from women. Women are always a complete person within a company. So the personal steps in your life, they have impact on your business life and your career. And if you know that, this is one of my favorite sentences also to cybersecurity. We are in an age of information, and if we ignore such facts as 30% female leadership changes culture and makes us more successful, financial, diverse, and innovative. If we know that people don't have two lives, they don't have a personal life and a business life, it's one life. So if we ignore this, this is a choice, and this has an effort on our businesses. Why I personally left the company, a few topics. Too much discussions, too much reading. A boss that was convinced that things could not get done. If someone's saying to you, Mrs. Deger, you don't get this, you ask yourself, what? Why not? I thought I can get this, but why shouldn't I? But if you have someone in your leadership team who's telling people they don't get this, this is difficult. Find some playgrounds for ego-orientated people instead of sense and human-orientated. Being the only woman is boring and tiring. I heard 15 years, Mrs. Deger, dear gentleman. So I was always the only woman in technical stuff, the only leading woman in that field. And that sometimes it's just boring and it makes yourself tired. Culture within the company was not developing in that company. Self-reflection was not a usual topic in this company. And my career path ideas were not welcome. So when I challenged for the next step to get more senior role, more responsibility, a bigger team, I wasn't allowed to. They told me I don't can make an opportunity. So I left. And how I felt at that time, that was like a fish going the wrong direction, always against all the others, or like a cactus who was showered every day, which is not so useful if you are a cactus that you get every day a shower. Yes, you need some desert, you need some sun, but you don't need a shower every day. So my solution was, I asked myself what I'm really good at, and I ended up with cybersecurity. I did a lot of infrastructure. I did a lot of software development, financial business things, NGO business things, but I ended always up with cybersecurity. This was for me the most important thing to do. Was the most of these topics I was passionate about. I was curious. I wanted to know more. I wanted to understand more and learn even more. And I also liked the challenge of being, okay, how old is this? 2 weeks, what's new now? So these quick changes in the business, I like it very much. So I decided to be a female founder. I founded a consulting company in 2017. And 1 year ago, I founded a platform to raise up online courses for normal people to understand how important it is to make yourself secure and to protect yourself. And went to speaking, writing articles, blog, being on TV and radio and such things. So that's the way I'm at the moment. I've found my own path. It was not always easy, but in the end, it was the right path for the moment for me. The next question we ask is, what can companies do? Because I think not every company is like that company I stepped out, but most of the companies I found now, if I go into companies for consulting stuff, there's a lot of things you can do. Please support mentoring, networking, and support your female employees. This is really important, really, really important. And don't control everything. Most of the company leaders or leadership people in companies, they're even on the topics to control, to I want to know this, I want to know that. Please trust your people and let them be self-organized, networking. Try to find a mentorship for younger women and support these things. Another topic is set female-oriented goals like quota. There was a time when we discussed in feministic circles, I would say, do we really need that quota? Is that good? And to be honest, I must say yes. It's because nothing changed. Nothing changed the last 20, 25 years. It's so less that changed. We even have so less female leaders in boards, in leadership of companies, of CEOs, CIOs, management boards. It's so less, even if we are in the 21st century. It's too less from my perspective, and it needs too much time without quotes to get there. Another topic what company can really do right is pay men and women equally. When I was in a company, I changed role within the company to another role, to another department. And on that point, I had nearly 10 years of leadership experience, and my male colleague came from outside of the company. He had 1.5 leadership experience, and they offered him 20,000 euros more than me. So normally Germans don't speak about these topics, but you recognize it. No? If you're clever, you recognize it, and then you ask yourself, what? I have the 10 years, he has 1.5. The facts and figures talk about me, but they pay him more without any reason because we did the same job on the same level. So I experienced this topic a lot, and I experienced these things also within young women. Young women often underestimate themselves. If they come and want to start a job, they start with, I don't know, say any number, 30,000 euros. And the male person is coming, oh, 50,000 must be good for start. So if you have these situations, please pay both of them 40,000. So you have the same amount of money that you spend in your employees, but look at the sharings. Yes, look at the who's getting what. And if a woman is coming with too less, please tell her it's too less and give her more without any doubts. The invest will be good invested. Offer excellent education in tech stuff and in career paths. So I think women have a lot of social skills when they come into a company. Men more have the tech stuff skill from the scratch. So it's good to offer women more tech stuff education and men more social skill education, so that every type of person can develop her things that needed to be developed. Sorry. Sorry. Another thing is to ask more questions. Oh, sorry. No. Ask more questions and then saying I am, or I know, or I do. If you ask people, you get an answer. And advice to your male employees, first listen, then speak. When I was, I think it is now 1.5 years or 1 year ago, I went to Munich and there was a speech of ex-president of the USA, Barack Obama. And he also talked about startups and female leadership. And he said he was really surprised because he had a lot of female persons in his team. And he always wondered why things didn't change. And then one day he recognized that he must say to his male colleagues they should step back, first listen to women, and then go together the next steps. And he said if at that point when he changed this, things changed. So please ask your man first to listen and step back, and then go together with the female employees the next steps. And yes, women can do tech stuff. It's really true. We are in the 21st century, and if a woman is deciding to go into information technology and cybersecurity, she wants to learn tech stuff, and she's able to. Be sure. Don't doubt on that. And the other thing, when you remind them my career path, we are always a personality like 360-degree all around. No, we don't enter the company's building and put our personality on the wardrobe like these jackets. It's not like this. We are always we go with our whole personality, with trouble at home, with something to do, something forgot, caring children, preparing meal, going to sports, all these topics, we bring them into the company. So it's not two lives, it's one. And most leaders forget that it's important to be aware that you are a role model. Like you do things, like you behave, that's the way people will follow you or will recognize you or will discuss about you. You are always under estimation, I would say, as a leader person. And besides that, it's important that you know what you are doing, that you are aware what you are doing and how you communicate and how you behave. I decided to collect some phrases, I would say, about kind of an agile mindset, which helps me to make cultures mature, or which helps me when I go to raise up cyber defense teams to bring in a mature culture for the team to go on and to work together. So the first step is always we accept what is. Then we recognize that cognition leads to experience. It's always like, no, today I know more than yesterday, and tomorrow I know more than today. Also, cognition has a timestamp. Yes. If I get some experiences, I have more things that I know, and I can take these things to learn and adapt them and go forward. Share your knowledge, learn from each other, and collaborate. Ask questions, you get answers, and reflect yourself. It leads you always to self-awareness and to awareness in working together with others. I also found that these agile values, which I found within agile methods, are really good to build values for your company. Respect, the focus, what's our goal, transparency, don't hide things, the commitment, are we having the same picture of a goal that we are on the path to, and faith. And then you can conquer borders together with your employees, especially with your female employees. So now it's the other side of the medal is what can women do? Learn tech stuff. Look what's interesting for you, what are you interested in, and then learn, learn, learn. It's so funny, and there's a lot of stuff that we have to learn because things are evolving, things are developing, and the bad guys don't sleep. Don't take things too personal. Sometimes I think we as women, we take it too personal, but it's just a working context, not always a friendship. And if you speak with intent. Don't speak too silent, too low. But if you're really convinced of some topics, please say it out loud. It's important that you get heard. search yourself a mentor. This is, like I said, the companies can help find mentors, and search yourself a mentor, somebody who's a little bit more mature than you in the field, or some senior colleague, or somebody from the network, somebody over LinkedIn. There are a lot of groups and companies and websites where you can find good mentorship. And in silent moments, grow. We always have to take a look that we are not always on a path like going on. Just take pauses and grow for yourself. Look where you are at the moment and where you want to go to. So then you can trust the process around you and can relax a little bit. And important, say thank you to people who support you. So now I say thank you to you for listening to me, and I'm happy to hear the questions.
Perfect. Well, thank you very much, Christine, for that incredible talk. I'm sure everyone found that as interesting as I did and took something from it. I thought it was quite inspiring, actually, so thank you very much. And as Christine said, it's now time for the Q&A. So if you could put your questions through the Q&A section at the bottom, that'd be perfect. And we can go from there. So I have a question myself. So you mentioned sort of providing good education. What education would you recommend?
So it depends a little bit of the level of the female person. When she's just starting, it's kind of basic stuff like networking stuff for cybersecurity. That's a good basic stuff, and Linux command line things and these topics. As far as she depends on the level, and then but also if you're going to more mature topics and you want to go deep into threat hunting or artificial intelligence systems, so you need some technical background, how to do it and how to go in that. And I think this is really important, that women get offered more technical development, more technical education things, and that they can collect what they are curious about, what they want to know.
Perfect. This is sort of three questions in one.
Mm-hmm.
So, do I need a mentor? What can a mentor sort of help me with, and where do I find one?
Mm-hmm. I find it quite useful. I did mentorship sometimes for myself and also for younger women. Um, it's kind of some days you have days in the office where you can scream as a woman. No, oh, what the hell is that here? And so if you have somebody who understands that, and it's a situation because you are a female person in a mostly male technical field, so you can get into conversation with your mentor and then scream at her and get out your frustration and your anger, and then we can sit together, the mentor and the mentee, and can say, okay, what are we doing with these topics? What's next? So we can try to find solutions or paths or ways or how to deal with, and you don't feel so isolated and so alone. That, I think that's a big issue. If you, as I said, within 15 years, you just hearing Mrs. Deger, dear gentlemen, it's like you're the only blue person in a group of red persons. And it helps if you have a mentor, if you have someone where you can address all your feelings and all your troubles with, and also laugh with, and find new ways to deal with it.
Brilliant. And we have a question from Kathleen. So she's trying to enter the field, coming from a background of physiotherapy. So she has the Network Plus, the Security Plus, and the CEH, as well as MTA, SEC, and Server. What would you say is the best way to land an entry-level role? as they all seem to want a year of experience?
Mhm, mhm. Mm, I think it would be good if you get into a project, a project group where you can learn from others and evolve your skills. That would be good. Kind of a education field. Yeah. Sometimes it's good to start with one project where you have mature people, you have people on the middle level, and you have people on the basic level. And then so after 3, 4, 5 months, you get a mixture of knowledge of that. And the junior persons learn from the others, and the others learn from junior persons, because junior persons have one big plus: they ask questions. And that's, sometimes this is very important for the success of a project. So for me, it's always then look that you get into a mixed team, learn from others, and ask many, many questions and challenge the colleagues, because questions challenge often the goal of a project. Yeah? Why are we doing this? Why are we doing it that way? Is there no other way? Such things. And that's more, if you're not a senior person, you ask more because you want to understand, what is this? Why are we doing it like that? And that's the big chance. And such a team where you can learn and can develop your skills within 1 year or whatever. I
Real,
think.
thank you. So Kathleen, sorry, has just responded and said that sounds really great. Do you mean a voluntary role?
No, a paid role, definitely, because if you're a member of a project team, everybody's important. Also, the person who has the low level knowledge and is asking questions and is evolving. And pff, everybody of us started someday with something. You must get the chance to start, and then you can develop yourself and evolve yourself, and it should be paid, definitely.
Real, thank you. So we have another one from Cloda. Do you think it's our responsibility to help? I'm torn between myself, but yeah, I'm torn myself between mentor and colleagues. We're so few. I have seen backlash if diversity is made an issue and non-experienced people promoted. Tough question to balance.
Interesting topic, really interesting. Yes, I think you're right. We should not push people who don't want this. Yes, if somebody's saying, "Oh, I'm trying it out, and after 6 months, I recognize, no, this field is not the right field for me, so I go to another field, then cybersecurity," then you should not push somebody. But this is equal for male or female, no? I think. And yes, we are less. So I think education is the only way to go there. Educate yourself, people, young students, or the students who do a practical year or 6 month term of practical things, or somebody who must work besides his studies. We have in Germany often such people, and then attracted for them to make it attractive. Um, I understand it's a little bit difficult, because CEOs often tend then to do, oh yes, we do now female stuff, but because it's fancy. But that's not the way. It should be more from the ground, more from the basics, more from a really a will to make teams more diverse, to support everybody as a human being in your company. So it's not only focused on the female perspective.
Phil, thank you very much. We have another one. So I'm planning to join a master's cybersecurity program. I'd
Mhm.
like to know the job opportunities on that.
I think if you have a master in cybersecurity, you have a lot of job opportunities. Depends a little bit where you collect your topic, which topic you collect to go in. But I think you have the whole bunch of, like, you can collect whatever you want. Really, there are no borders at the moment, because we are so few, like Clodak said.
Mhm.
No, we are not so many. So yeah, I could sell my time 3 times a day, but it's not possible and not useful. So,
Yeah,
but
Brill.
That's also a topic for the mentor, yes? If you're unsure if you go this way or more that way, so you can, with someone who knows the business and all the topics, you can collect and say, okay, what should I do if I go there or if I go there? And what are the opportunities? It's a good topic for mentorship, definitely.
Brilliant. So we have a question from Mandy. She says, I'm an infrastructure engineer and have been in the industry for 16 years. I've had some exposure to cybersecurity projects and would like to know which area of cybersecurity I should look to upskill in, please.
Mhm. Infrastructure, there are different things. Depends a little bit. You can go to security operations, like within companies who have a SOC, Security Operations Center. And because if you know infrastructure for 16 years, you have a good overview over all these topics, and then you can try to evolve your knowledge in direction of cybersecurity to find cyber threats, to analyze maybe stuff that does weird things like that. And I think I would search after a company who's doing security operations and get into a team with people who are doing this for customers or sell this as a managed service. I think this is a good opportunity.
Definitely, I agree with that for sure. So, has anyone else got any questions? If you could pop them, in now just before we finish up, that'd be great. Is there anything else that you'd want to you maybe say before we do finish up, Christine?
Yes.
We do have another question actually. So from Carol, where can we find mentors, and or these real-time projects that will allow juniors like me to practice on what's being learned from online courses?
Mhm. So I would say for mentors, there are some home pages. I don't know if they are only in Germany. If you want, I can make together a set of links where you can find mentors. I think we have also on LinkedIn, there's also kind of mentorship program in some groups. And you also can ask your company if this is possible within the company. So if you have a mature colleague, you can look if the company is supporting the company you are in at the moment. As far as I know, in German, there's one page is called Mentor Me, but don't know if it's only German or if it's international. But if you want, I can have a look at this and send you some links, Holly, and then we can give it in addition after the webinar.
Yeah, definitely. I think we can send those out when we send the link of the filmed webinar out, which could be really helpful for some people.
Yes.
Um,
And projects to practice. So we had in Germany a hackathon from our government during the beginning of the Corona time. There were a lot of projects online coordinated over Slack, so you could participate in such things. So if you look around what kind of hackathons you find in your surroundings, yes, if you find many companies doing such things, maybe you must join as a team, but some also offer that you get as a single person into a team. So a hackathon is a good choice to participate. And what I also like, I don't know if you do this a lot in UK, we do in Germany like meetups. There's an app, it's called Meetup, so you can find people who have similar topics that you have, and you can just join a group, see what they are doing. Before Corona, they meet in real time at some places, but now there are a lot of meetups are also online.
mhm.
And there are also meetups who are doing lab scenarios or try out things. Yes, that's what I know also from Germany. I also know some hack spaces or the Chaos Computer Club. I don't know if such things are existing in other European countries. This is really, I think you try out, search. Yes, somebody's writing. Isaka has an initiative called She Leads Tech. That's cool. Good advice, Harriet.
That's really good. Well,
Perfect.
maybe we
Yeah.
can pop that in
Yes.
the email that goes out as well,
Yeah.
so everyone has that. And I think that might be it. Just one more question. So hi, Christine, this is from Audrey. What would you advise about transferring into cybersecurity if you're not in the IT field, or if you are?
Mhm. Depends what you did before. I know some persons who studied chemistry or physics, and they are now in the IT field. I also know a lot of people who did administration topics and came into IT over sales things or about project management. So if you have an education in project management, I would first have a look to IT security projects so that you go as a project lead or partly project responsible into security projects. So you can see what are the topics there and you can organize it, and then you can decide, okay, this is very interesting. I go into Java security, that sounds great. And then you can learn to program and get into security, or I get into infrastructure security and go that way. That should be a good opportunity. I always found that women are good in organizing things. No, we are mostly structured and good organized because I don't know, maybe we're used to organize our life and the life of others, especially if you have family.
Perfect, perfect. And we have another question from Louisa.
Mhm.
What seems to be the real issue in this enlightened day and age? Why women's authority in the corporate world is changing so slowly?
Oh, I think there are a lot of topics. In Germany, we say male male leaders hire male leaders because they know them. So you always hire whom you know. And mature male leaders hire different people because they know that the difference makes the difference and the success. So this is kind of thing where's the culture within the company. If the company leaders decide that they want to be a mature cultural workbench, then it's easier. But and as I said before, my boss at that time when I stepped out, he always said, "You don't get this." So, and I didn't understand it because that was never a question I asked me if I get something. I was always convinced that okay, maybe difficult, maybe challenging, maybe a lot of work, but I will get this. I will find the solution. So look at a company where people are convinced that they can change something, where they can go forward, where they can have fun and work good together. And I don't know why it's so challenging. Maybe they also are afraid of if we are better than them, but that's not the topic. I know really very nice male colleagues. I love them, and they also like to work together with me. So they are there, but maybe there's too less at the moment. So I think at the moment it's not possible to change it without a quote, especially from the higher level, from the management boards, the CEOs, the CIOs. As far as they are all male dominated, it's difficult.
Perfect, thank you.
We need to get to LinkedIn to do a yes, I do tech banner. Yes, yes, yes. Or
Definitely.
hashtag women no tech.
Definitely.
Yeah, cool.
Perfect. Well, I think that's it for the questions.
Yes, thank you
Um,
very much.
so thank you everyone for attending. As I said before, the full webinar will be sent to you shortly afterwards, with a link to our next webinar. Sorry, and we'll include the links
Mhm.
that Christine mentioned.
Yes.
So on behalf of everyone here, I just wanted to give you, Christine, a huge thank you for this amazing talk. And I'm sure everyone can go follow you on LinkedIn, maybe carry on
Yes.
the conversation.
Yes.
And we also have a group on LinkedIn called the Cyber Lounge, which is a great place for everyone in cyber to sort of come in and carry on discussions like these. So yeah, if you want to join there, we can add the link of that in as well. So the next webinar that we are running on Wednesday is with Paul Barker of Vigilance Consulting, and he'll be talking about security or resilience. What is the future for cyber? So that'll be in the email as well with the recording of this webinar. I think that's it from me. So again, thank you all. Hopefully we'll see you in the next one. Have a great day.
Yes. Thank you, Holly.
Thank you.
Thank
See
you
you
all.
soon.
Bye.
Take care. Bye.